Sri Baba Neem Karoli Maharaj was born in a well-to-do Brahmin family from the village of Akbarpur in district Agra and was also known by the name Lakshmi Narayan. He exhibited spiritual powers from birth, and though he did not show an inclination for study as a child, he seemed to know everything. One night, he told his family that there would be burglars in the house. Taking it to be a child's imagination, no one heeded his warning, but his words turned out to be true. At the tender age of 11, Baba left his home and went to Gujarat, where he lived for 7 years. He stayed in the ashram of a Vaishnav saint who gave him the name Lakshman Das and made him wear the clothes of an ascetic. His hair grew long and matted. He wore loincloth tied around his waist with a rope made of reed. His sole possession was a kamandal. He also stayed for some time at an ashram in Babania, a village outside the town of Morvi. From Babania, Baba set off on a journey around the country. While traveling, he arrived at the village of Neep Karori in the district of Farrukhabad and stopped to take some rest. Baba's speech was divine, and although he had little contact with the villagers, whatever he told them came true. They became attached to him and besieged him to stay. They built an underground cave for him in which he immersed himself in spiritual practice all day. No one saw him coming out even to attend the call of nature. He came out only in the darkness of night. Later, the cave gave in, and a new cave, which still exists, was dug out about 200 meters from the old one on a neglected piece of land owned by a Brahmin named Govardhan. Baba had a Hanuman temple built on the roof of this cave, and on the day of consecration, he shaved his long, matted hair and started wearing a long cotton dhoti instead of the loin cloth. After moving into the new cave, Baba started interacting more with the villagers. He developed a friendly association with the young people of his age group and often participated in their sports. He mingled with them so freely that it was not possible for them to be overawed by the peculiarities of his astonishing deeds. While playing hide and seek, he was able to locate any one of them instantly, wherever they might be hidden in the forest. But when his turn came, he became invisible and was not to be found anywhere. While climbing trees in the forest, his pursuers would follow him up one tree only to reach the top and see him sitting on another. No one saw him leaping from tree to tree. While swimming in the village pond, Baba would disappear under the water and came out after a long time. It was all a matter of amazement and fun for them. During this period, a poor bird catcher named Gopal became Baba's ardent devotee and came to attend to him every day. One day, forgetting Baba's instructions not to enter his cave, Gopal made the mistake of going in with a pot of milk that he had brought for him. He found Baba in deep meditation with serpents wrapped around his body. He was so horrified to see Baba in his Shiva like form that his legs gave way and the pot of milk slipped from his hands. He ran outside and fainted. Baba came out and lifted him up, saying, "You should not have entered the cave without permission." It was by Baba's touch alone that Gopal regained consciousness. One time, Baba did not get food for several days. This was more of his Leela. The villagers said that he appeared agitated. He shouted at the holy image of Hanuman. One day, Baba was on his way to the Ganges, where he used to bathe on the auspicious days of Ekadashi and Purnima. He was walking with his devotee Gopal and a Muslim companion when he saw a train traveling towards Farrukhabad on which he wished to travel. The moving train, which was about 200 meters away, suddenly stopped and did not move further until Baba and his attendants boarded. As soon as Baba sat down, the train continued its journey. Later on, at the request of villagers who wished to keep the memory of the event alive, the government of India set up a railway station at the place where Baba boarded and named it Baba Lakshman Das Puri station after Baba. On another occasion, Baba went to Farrukhabad from Neep Karori in the first class compartment of a train. Seeing his sadhu like appearance, an Anglo Indian conductor told him to get off the train at the next station. Baba got down and took a seat on the platform. Despite all the efforts of the station staff, the train did not move. Its departure was delayed for 2 hours. The conductor could not explain the problem since no mechanical defect was found. In fact, the engine was running, but the wheels would not turn. All the compartments of the train were checked thoroughly and no fault was found anywhere. While the authorities were deliberating over the problem, some railway employees asked Baba in jest to make the train move. Baba said, "I am turned out of the train and you are asking me to let it go." An employee replied, "Perhaps you had no ticket." At this, Baba showed them several genuine first class tickets. Amazed, they begged him to reboard the train and let it move. Baba willed it to be so, and the train moved instantly. From then on, Baba Lakshman Das became famous as Baba Neep Karori, the Baba from Neep Karori village. In 1935, a rich man came to Neep Karori and offered Baba a silver plate full of gold coins in the presence of Govardhan and some other Brahmins. Baba did not accept the offering. His rejection of it antagonized the Brahmins, for they had wanted Baba to give them the money. Later, another rich man came to Neep Karori bringing 30 cans of ghee for the forthcoming yagna on the full moon day. Baba was in Farrukhabad at the time, taking a bath in the Ganges. In his absence, the Brahmin spoke to the rich man in a derogatory way about Baba and persuaded him to go away with the cans of ghee. Baba could see all that was happening at Neep Karori from Farrukhabad, and on his return, he reprimanded the Brahmins and gave up the idea of performing the annual yagna. On day shortly thereafter, he left the village. He had lived there for 18 years. After leaving Neep Karori, Baba lived for some time on the bank of Ganges River at Kila Ghat in Fatehgarh. There he associated with the local people and even reared some cows. To the amusement of his devotees, the cows obeyed Baba's commands. During his stay, he gave his blessings and darshan to many soldiers. He also changed the heart of Colonel J.C. McKenna, his first Western devotee, who had been averse to Indian saints and monks. After leaving Kila Ghat, Baba wandered from place to place. Nothing can be said for certain about where he went and what he did during this time. There was, however, a steady growth of reverence for him among people in the towns of Bareilly, Haldwani, Almora, Nainital, Kanpur, Lucknow, Vrindavan, and Allahabad, and also in Delhi, Shimla, and even Madras, a far off city in the south. Without any publicity, urban and rural Indians of all ages, castes, and classes, as well as people from the West, became Baba's devotees. Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christians, and even atheists were drawn to him. V.V. Giri, former President of India, Gopal Swarup Pathak, former Vice President, Justice Vasudev Mukherjee, Jugal Kishore Birla, the famous industrialist, Sumitra Nandan Pant, the poet, former Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, and many other well-known and distinguished persons had Baba's darshan and showed great respect for him. During the 1940s, Baba began spending more time in Nainital. A great many of the town's inhabitants became devoted to him. If they saw Baba going anywhere, they would leave their business or chores and, like carefree beings, follow him wherever he went. There was an inexplicable bliss in the households that Baba visited. No effort was needed to find out where he was in the town at any particular moment because his presence could be felt by the spirit of joy, festivity pervading that place. He would occasionally stay in the houses of his devotees, but he spent much of his time on the secluded Manora hillside, about 2 kilometers outside of the town. Sometimes he would pass the nights on the roadside parapets, and the householder devotees, accustomed to domestic comforts, would remain awake with him all night, night after night, and still attend to their usual routine during the day. Instead of feeling fatigued, they felt a new spirit of energy. In the early 1950s, Baba had his first temple, which he named Hanumangarh, constructed on the Manora hillside. Over the next 2 decades, he also had temples and in some places ashrams constructed in Bhumiadhar, Kainchi, Kakrighat, Kanpur, Lucknow, Vrindavan, Shimla, Delhi, and other places. Baba valued the temples and ashrams, but he had no desire or attachment for them. As soon as each temple was completed, he would turn its management over to a trust. Because of the social limitations faced by women in India, Baba made special facilities available to them in the ashrams. Consequently, the women devotees adored Baba as their guru, father, brother, or son, according to their feelings. They participated in all the activities of the ashram and contributed greatly to the spirit of service that Maharajji encouraged. Many visitors were fed every day in Baba's ashrams and given packets of prasad to carry home for their families. The visiting ascetics were offered money and blankets as well as food. Baba would say, "If you do not empty the stock, how can it be replenished?" Just as the sun never sees darkness, Baba never faced a shortage of anything. From the 1950s until his Mahasamadhi, Baba visited the temples and ashrams but never stayed in one place for long. Wherever he stayed, he lived simply and was always concerned with the welfare of others. Like a benevolent father, he shed grace on all. He nurtured the concept of Vasudev Kutumbakam, the world as one family, and would say that love binds all together. His blood relations, along with countless others, merged within the worldwide family. Devotees only learned about Baba's relatives when his last rites were performed. Baba said, "The whole universe is our home, and all residing in it belong to a family. Every woman is a mother or sister, and every man a father or brother. This is all God's family. You can do service of the highest order only if your thoughts are centered on God. Instead of trying to see God in a particular appearance, it is better to see Him in everything." On 11th September 1973, Maharajji left his physical body. Much remains a mystery about him and his Leela before and after this date. K.M. Munshi, former governor of Uttar Pradesh, wrote, "Nobody knows where he came from or where he went away to, nor is his original name known to anyone. What we know about him is only by his grace. He is perfect example of how the eternal power assumes human form and dwells for a time amidst the masses."